Hey everyone! Today we are going to have a look at Omar's mask design for his creature and evolve it into this. Before we start, I want to inform you about my free beginner hard surface course for Zbrush. In this course, I will guide you through the Zbrush UI and introduce you to the main tools we are going to use. We'll start with a warm-up exercise to practice the necessary workflows, and then we'll dive right into creating a VR headset step by step. So if you're just starting out or want to have a more detailed explanation of my workflows, this course is perfect for you. You can access the course through the link in the description. So Omar has been grinding really hard on this character lately, and today we are going to have a look at how we can improve on the helmet. Personally, I really like the design you have so far. It's such a great addition to the overall look. The gladiator feel to it is really nice. But I think we can definitely make this a little bit more interesting. But overall, really great job. So the first thing I would definitely like to integrate is some of these spikes. I think they would be a great addition to the helmet as well. So simply going to grab the spikes here, duplicating those and putting them down to the bottom. And let's see, going to delete one side of it, and I'm just going to put them in multiple places and then see what works and what doesn't. So first of all, I want to put them on top of this plate here. Just going to use the move tool to kind of move them in this curvature. And then duplicating them to the side. Right off the bat, I'm not a huge fan of that. Maybe because, let's split that. Split hidden. Yeah, it gives a cool feel to it, but yeah, right now I'm not 100% sure that. Maybe it would delete part of this plate. Yeah, let's keep them for now and move them to some other places. So I'm going to duplicate those again, grab these. And now I'm just going to move them with the move brush in a way that I can center them and then use mirror and world. So what I would normally do is I kind of go back and forth with mirror and world, and every time I see the mirror and world is like not holding up very well, I go back and adjust them a little bit. I'm just quickly using Sculpt Pro to get something in place that we can use. So here could be an interesting positioning. And then another place that would be cool is to actually even add them here, and they would act as like another set of teeth or something. Like a big tooth that is coming out here that could really add to this character. Let's see if this is going to be too much. Or if this is a cool addition to the design. I like the idea here. Actually looks kind of sick, but I'm not sure if I would keep it in this lighter color or maybe give it this color even, so you better understand this is part of the helmet. But anyway, I think that works kind of nice. But another cool place definitely would be here in the back. So to kind of give him another set of horns. Yeah, that is a really cool place, I think, to put them in. And it flows really nicely with the horns you already have. It's a nice addition. We can try to put them here and then as well put them in the back, because you already kind of created this inset here. And I like that as well, but obviously this can be a little bit too much. So now I would definitely turn them off on the top. And maybe we can put these at the back of the helmet as well. So if I go in silhouette mode, you see that. Damn, that looks really cool. Okay, so let's go back. Let's grab that piece right here, and I would probably use this kind of as a base where these horns are attached to, or these spikes. And let's mirror that to the back of the helmet as well. So I duplicated this piece and now just move it back. Yeah, that definitely works. And now I will kind of work my way down and grab every individual piece and make them work together. So I'm definitely liking this separation right here. Just kind of gonna, you know, paint this in. But then I'm not a huge fan of the separation right here, where it's like very even and straight. I think we can definitely make this more interesting. So I'm just gonna smooth that out. And maybe there could be like an inset here. It could be really cool to add something that looks like nostrils right here. Since, you know, there are a lot of like really cool reptile creatures that have nostrils like very far up, even above their nose. So maybe we could replicate that with the helmet design. So then there would be this plate sitting on top and maybe kind of like overlapping as well. So just gonna duplicate that piece and let's try to separate that. Delete hidden. I'm just quickly going to give this a zero mesh, the same. And give this some dynamic thickness. Okay. These are still two parts. I have to separate the top layer, delete hidden. Let's do dynamic thickness. Just something very thin and apply that. With the edge polish and backface masking on, I can basically now with Alt, polish this and give it thickness at the same time, because with Alt press down, it will pull towards the brush, so to say. And I can do that in the inside as well. So yeah, and nothing too clean right now. I just want to quickly get something to work with here. And now I can go back to that original and kind of just clip this geometry away. So I was thinking this would be like overlapping slightly. And I want this part to sit nicely within this one. And now this part sits like slightly underneath. Let's not worry about that, that's alright actually. Just gonna quickly clean this up. So I'm just using the move tool with backface masking to just reintroduce some of that thickness. And let's get rid of this panel cut for now. I think yeah. There have been a little bit too much panel cuts going on for now. So I'm using the edge polish and pressing Alt to kind of fill up some of these from changes. And using the smooth brush to establish more curvature into the planes. And now I'm kind of interested how this piece and this piece are interacting with each other. So for that reason, simply going to merge them for now, and then later going to decide where I want to make a split or not. I'm just going to duplicate that as a backup and dynamesh that. Let's split off these portions right here, because they will definitely be a separate piece. Since this silhouette definitely works very well. Actually, I'm not quite sure if this wouldn't look even better. So it's always important to check from different angles how the shapes appear. And generally, I would just try to avoid to have segments that are too thin, so it doesn't look too fragile. Since this is quite a buff dude, and I'm sure he will get punched in the face here and there, so this mask needs to be a good protection. So again, I'm going to use my move brush with backface masking, kind of give this some thickness. So now this is creating a really cool effect where we can see this plane underneath this plane. So this underneath this one. And now let's finally separate that guy. So split hidden. And let's close holes. Same thing here. Close holes, and let's quickly clean this up with Sculpt Pro. Or just use the clip curve. Clean this up. Let's give this some more resolution. And let's see what we can do with this piece. And I want to move it in a way where it kind of rotates outwards, so it kind of gives a more emphasis on the cheeks so that they look more aggressive, more dangerous. So basically the flow that I'm looking for is this kind of thing. Whoops. And I'm also establishing that here. And same thing with these fangs right here. So right now I'm thinking would be cool if this piece right here would kind of connect. So it goes a bit further. So yeah, we need to split the mesh at some point, just trying to figure out where would be a good place for that. So I'm just gonna try to sketch in some panel cuts. Actually, I think this is already working pretty good. So the reason why this works really good is this panel cut is kind of giving an extra mean feeling to his eyes. since it's kind of mimicking his eyebrows. So if you would do this, you know, it already adds like a character kind of, you know, he looks like more sad if you think these are like kind of eyebrows, and if you put in a panel cut like this, it looks way more aggressive. And then we could try to make a split like this. So this time I'm going to use the knife curve and split to parts function to split that off. But that didn't work at all. I think that's a bit too complicated, so I'm just gonna do it the old school way. Split hidden, close holes. Dynamesh that and clean this up. Same thing here. Let's use the knife tool here. Split mask. And now I can flatten this out. And kind of move this underneath. Okay, so we have to move this out slightly because it's already clipping with his face. Now what I wanted to try is to push this out. Yeah, okay. This is working great. Now it's all about moving pieces individually. To line them up and see how they fit together. So I think that actually works a little bit better because it acts like as a thicker protection for his nose. And then there could be like a cutout. That looks definitely cooler than what I did. Maybe some very deep holes or something. Something like that, maybe. So yeah, the holes were definitely too big. I'm sure you can make something that is a little bit cooler than that. Just gonna, you know, show you what's possible and give you some ideas where you can where this design can go. And now I want to experience how these edges and planes are overlapping, so we can create some more interest in that. And see where we can create some interesting plane changes. So right now I'm thinking could be really cool if this would be like was like a very chamfered edge, and that ends up in this plane. But I think this sharp edge is kind of working pretty well. So you see how this instantly gives like an even more meaner effect if we pull them down. But we shouldn't forget that he has to look up as well. But we can definitely push and pull on these other shapes to emphasize on this angle. Right now these insets, they don't really work. They make him look like a pig or something. I don't like that at all. But that looks way better. So I'm pretty happy with this part of the mask, but what's going on here is kind of weird. So what I'm thinking, what would make sense is if this part would kind of end here. And yeah, we kind of need a little bit more space up here for this to work out, I think. So make sure to zoom out once in a while, get like big picture, and also see if the forms created and panel cuts and all are working from the far as well. So as you know, I like to give a separate color to an object where I'm unsure how to fit it with the rest of the pieces that I have. So I can try to figure out how to move it and push it so it creates an interesting shape. Now I want to split off this piece here. I'm just going to split off this and then can do an auto groups here, split that off as well, and then combine these two pieces back together. So now if I do a mirror and weld, these will be welded back together, these points. It's a really cool trick you can use. And what I really enjoy right now is that we can see this edge here and that plane. It gives like an even more aggressive look. And make sure not only to, you know, move back from the camera, but look at different angles and see where you're at and where you move things. Because it's very easy to lose track and only focus on one perspective, and then it looks shit from the other. So try to keep that in mind as much as possible. Keep rotating the camera and such. So making sure I'm adding a little bit more interesting in the plane changes, because it looked kind of boring now. So this is like facing inwards. Let's give this a little bit more curvature because this got really flat. I hope you can see how incredibly powerful the move brush alone is. Like, I'm doing so much changes and design choices just by using the move brush. So I'm moving the pieces in a way where I feel like they have enough space, so nothing is getting too tight. And now we're at the place where it looks kind of cool from the front, but we definitely lose it definitely looks pretty bad from the side. So the panel cuts and the way these pieces sit on each other is not working out at all. And that's why I put too much emphasis on the front and forgot to pay attention to the side. So I'm just going to duplicate that piece, go one step back and reverse that change, and I'm just going to move that in because I am thinking about, you know, creating some geometry that is fitting inside. So let's just give that like another color to understand what's going on here. And now I can concentrate on the bigger picture here and simplify these shapes a little bit more. because yeah, it got a bit weird in my opinion. So sometimes we just want a little bit too much. And then we have to go back and simplify our shapes. So as always, it's way more easy to define our shapes if they're separate. So for that reason, I'm going to duplicate this once and then just grab that piece right here, delete hidden, close holes. And kind of work on the separate shape like so. And then I can go back here and just mask this out and clip this down. And that way I'm just so much faster. And once I'm happy and I want to combine them, I can combine them again and dynamish them together. So right now I'm just looking for a good separation for this complex plane we have going on here. And now what I'm trying to look for is some more interesting ways these shapes are interacting with each other. So here could be an insert, for example, for ventilation or something like that. And I'm just simply going to grab that piece because it looks kind of cool in here. And now I'm going to duplicate that and just quickly move it in to create a inner layer. So that was simply a happy accident, but I kind of liked it. Let's put another ridge here. And as you notice, I'm moving rather quickly from piece to piece, because at this point it's all about quickly adjusting piece by piece, so the puzzle is slowly fitting together more and more and more. And the more you are focusing on only one piece, the more likely it will be that you lose track. I actually like it kind of a lot. It's a nice plane change. So what I can do here is, again, duplicating this piece, and then I'm just going to cut away some portions and see how this looks. Let's give this another color so we can see the effect. And then just flatten this one a bit more. If you want more insights of my workflows or want to get a better understanding of Zbrush, look at my free beginner hard surface course, which I designed to be easy to follow as a beginner. You can find the link in the description. Until then guys, take care.